We like to start every episode with a disclaimer that we are not professionals. Our conversations are solely based on our personal experiences, thoughts, and opinions. Nothing discussed here is meant to be taken as professional mental health or medical advice. If you have questions or need assistance, please seek the help of a licensed professional.
Discussions in this podcast may sometimes revolve around heavy material such as abuse, grooming, religious trauma, etc. Please listen with caution and prioritize your mental health first. Welcome to Trauma Bondage, the podcast where we talk about trauma, kinks, and non-traditional relationships and lifestyles from a queer lens. We are your hosts, Beth.
And Brigitte. Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
God. Sometimes we start these episodes and I'm just like, they're fucking in for it. And this is one of them.
Oh, I can't wait.
Me either. This is so
This
exciting.
is so fun.
This is going to be the funnest episode yet.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there. Okay, you tell what we're talking about.
We're gonna talk about coming. To put it bluntly,
The way that
I think I just gave myself game.
you did.
Yeah.
You got so shy for a second.
I did.
And then you remembered who the fuck you are. You were like, we're going to talk about coming. We're going to talk about coming.
We're gonna talk about the different kinds of female orgasms.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about coming
Yeah.
because we love doing that.
We fucking love doing that.
So we're going to share some information with you all today.
Well, so the reason we wanted to talk about this is because I feel like most women don't know that there are so many ways to come. Like, I feel like most people know about, like, clitoral and vaginal orgasms, right?
As we've learned, some people don't even know that you can come.
That's
so
Some people don't even know what
so,
their
like,
clit is.
ladies, listen the fuck up. And also, anybody who is pleasing a lady,
Yes.
listen the fuck up.
up.
I'm serious. You're going to want in on this one.
You will. Literally.
Literally and figuratively. So
You're
yeah.
going to want to be in on this one. For some of them, and some of them you don't need anything and anything.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about different kinds of orgasms.
Yep.
What works for us, what we've experienced, and
Yeah.
what maybe things we haven't and why.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And what we want to try. I feel like that'll be fun. We should talk
Mhm.
about what we're going to try next. And then we'll give you an update on how it's going. Okay. The first one. Let's dive into a clitoral orgasm because that's the one that I think most people experience and most people know about.
Yes.
Right? Would you say?
Most women, I would say, I mean, I can't speak on this statistically because I'm
Right.
not a scientist, but like that's my thing is like clitoral stimulation
Yeah.
gets me there faster than anything. That was probably my first experience with an orgasm as well as a clitoral one.
Same.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So that obviously is an orgasm that is created by stimulation of your clitoris. And if you don't know where that is, you should Google it because there will be pictures that you can see. Please Google it.
Yeah.
So you know where
Don't,
it is.
Don't make us teach you. I mean, like,
I don't want to have to describe. I mean, I can, but
oh, you're just describing. I'm like, I'll show you.
I'll literally show you right now.
Just call me.
A Patreon tier.
No, you said you'd peg people for free.
I said that I would
would
pay them to let me peg them.
Yeah.
Okay, so clitoral stimulation, let's talk about the different ways that you can get there because it's not just obviously through one method, but it can be somebody going down on you, it can be fingers, it can be literally anything rubbing up against you.
Friction in general.
Yeah.
I know some people that have gotten clitoral stimulation through like riding their bicycle
Yeah.
or like riding like stationary bikes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Dry humping.
Dry humping.
Honestly, dry humping is underrated.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten off by like dry humping someone's leg
Yeah.
from your clit? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that was a universal experience, but apparently it is.
Well, in our universe.
Well, in lesbian, yes, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm sorry, women who do like the knee thing where they like put their knee up in between.
Oh my,
their
the
legs and
fucking
your-
knee thing.
Oh my god.
Okay. No, for literally, I spent a good like 2 weeks seeing this like trend on TikTok of people being like, when they do the knee thing, all the shit. And I'm like, what are they talking about? Because I wasn't putting it together of like,
it's not really their knee. It's like right here.
Yeah, it's the leg. It's when it's the friction against your fucking.
I didn't put it together, and then I was like, "That's what it is."
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh my God.
I was just confused. But yeah, so what's your favorite way to come from your clit?
Oral
Okay, same.
stimulation.
Like hands down, that's your favorite way to come in general?
No.
Okay.
I have positions and things that I like.
Okay.
Like my favorite position is doggy style, just because.
Yeah.
I.
Bitch, we're the same.
To put it bluntly, it hits deeper.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's more control.
Yeah.
And I'm a kinky bitch who likes my hair pulled
Yep.
and to be spanked, and sometimes to have my mouth fucking covered in that position.
I love you so much.
But I also really love receiving oral.
Yeah.
So
Or oral for me is like
that's like foreplay.
hands down my favorite.
That's like foreplay.
I have the best orgasms from oral above everything else.
Oh, yeah.
You can just feel everything
Like
more.
spend a couple hours down there and then
yes.
me over and call it a day for the next
exactly.
5.
There's an order of events. Let's just say there is an order of events, at least for us.
There's an agenda in the corporate world. We
Oral
call it an
first,
agenda.
doggy style last. That's it. It's
Aftercare.
doggy style is aftercare.
No, after doggy style is aftercare. This is an absolutely batshit crazy episode.
Yeah,
What's wrong with
we
us?
literally warned them. Okay, so clitoral orgasms are obviously something that we both love, and I don't feel like we need to talk about it too much because most people understand, I think. Unless there's anything that you want to add on that one.
Not really. I feel like it's straightforward. It's friction. It's your clit. If you know where that fucking is, we said Google. And yeah.
I also want to add a disclaimer that like not everybody can come from
Clitoral
all of
stimulation.
these things or any of these things.
Yeah.
Like maybe you need a vibrator, maybe you need like a very specific thing to be able to come. Like orgasms are not like easily achieved for everybody.
No,
So,
not easily achieved for everyone, but also in different ways because anatomy is different for every single person.
exactly.
With a vagina, your anatomy is completely different.
Yes.
Like there are no two vulvas that are like.
Nope. And I've seen a lot of them. None of them have looked alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
They're all different. Okay. So then the next one that I think is the most common is vaginal orgasms.
Yes.
So we should talk about that a little bit. I think there's like this myth around vaginal orgasms that like they're super common and everyone can have them.
No.
And like, no, but like from men.
Oh.
Men think that like women are just coming just with no clitoral stimulation at all, just because they're shoving their dick inside you.
Yeah, that doesn't
So
do
we
it.
should break that down.
Obviously.
I think it's like the last stat I saw, and our producer can correct me on this, but I think it's something like 30% of women can come vaginally.
Yeah,
Or
that's
do come
a
vaginally.
small percentage.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not the majority.
And also that has to do with like G-spot and hitting the G-spot. That has to do with like the things that are being used. So like if you're somebody who has a vulva and is actually sleeping with somebody who has penis,
yeah.
size does matter in a lot of those cases.
Yeah.
Based on where your G-spot is located in your anatomy.
Yes.
Same with other spots that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And then also just like your nerve endings that go with all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like mine, like I have none of my nipples, so it's all in my clit.
Yeah.
But like also like vaginally, like penetration does do it for me, but I have to be in the right headspace.
Yep.
And the right order of events has to have happened
Yeah.
to get me there.
So I was doing some research for this episode, and one of the sex therapists I was like listening to was speaking a lot about how when you orgasm, like any type of orgasm, basically when you do it for the first time, you're creating neural pathways in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And you're learning how to do it. So like it's not that you just innately always know how to come like through these different ways. It sometimes like does actually take practice. So vaginally you can like actually practice coming that way by stimulating your clit, getting your body used to it,
Training your body.
yeah. And then it becomes easier over time. And then you can do it without the clit stimulation eventually. But that's a good way to like practice coming in different ways. If like you know there's a very specific way that you normally can come, try doing that and the other at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Create those neural pathways. Sorry, I just got so scientific. I am Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Beth Nye the Science Guy.
No, I hate it. So vaginally, obviously, that can be from like fingers, toys, a penis, like whatever
Yeah.
you want to shove up there.
Anything you want to put
That's
up there.
safe.
Yeah.
Don't stick
Some
anything
people
up
love
there.
zucchinis. Like, it's a thing. But, not me.
No.
Please.
Are you sure? I felt like it was coming from a very personal place.
Well, have you ever, like, been to the store and you're buying, like things that go together that look sexual, but, like, they're not for the intent.
Like tomatoes and a zucchini, and then you put them in the basket together, and then you're just like...
No, you're like a 5-year-old. Like, you're
I
like a
don't do that.
12-year-old
I'm just
boy.
saying, is that an example?
No, I have in the past, like, I have bought a zucchini, and when I, like, was in my Tales of Straight Bridget days, like, buying condoms at the same time. And I'm like, I promise I'm not using this zucchini for what you
I get
think
what
it
you're
is.
saying.
Like,
Okay.
I actually went to chop that up and eat it. Like,
In a non-sexual way.
in a non-sexual way. Like, I just want to feed myself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, there's like the general, like, 3. So we got clitoral, we've got vaginal, and then there's cervical,
Yes.
which self-explanatory.
Yeah. Well, is it though?
I mean, do we know where our cervix is?
I think that we should explain it a little bit for people.
Go for it.
So your cervix is obviously like located. I mean, you can Google this shit too. I don't need to show you. But
You're like, it's here.
Our producer quits immediately. He's like, I didn't sign up for this shit. But yeah, it's at the very, very top of your vagina. Like you can feel it if you can get far enough in there. But there is a spot that's called the A spot on the front wall of your vagina that is, when stimulated, it feels very similar to when your G-spot is stimulated, but it's usually like 2 centimeters above where your G-spot is. And so that, when it's stimulated, can cause a cervical orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, I don't know if this happens for other people, but for me personally, that's what makes me cream everywhere, all over the place.
Cream or squirt?
No, cream. G-spot makes me squirt. A-spot makes me cream.
Well, let's talk about the differences between those two.
Okay.
I think people think they're the same.
They're not. I mean, they literally look different and they have a different consistency. So they're not the same. You'll know.
If you listen to previous episodes, we talk about squirt queen because Bethany is the squirt queen.
The squirt queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am just on the other side.
What do you mean?
I just make people squirt.
Oh, got it. You create squirt queens everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So
I love
when
doing that to masks. It's so fun. They get very startled.
Yeah. I want to hear about that later. Maybe that's a spicy trauma for later. So the consistency when you're creaming, it's very like, it's thicker, it's white, like it looks more like what you would imagine like cum looks like. And then when you're squirting, it's very much like water. Like that's literally what it looks like. It looks like water. A lot of people say that squirt is pee, and it is not. It does have traces of urine in it, but it is not the same thing as peeing on somebody. And it can be anywhere from like a little bit to a lot. Like personally, when I squirt, it's usually quite a bit, just depending on how much stimulation. Am I going into too much detail?
I mean, not for me. I already know all of this.
Okay. I'm like, you have heard this before.
I love it.
But I just want people to know so they don't like, they're not like, oh, am I doing it right? Whatever. Like your body is like going to be different. Right? So like everybody is different. You might do a lot. You might do it a little bit. It is not something to be embarrassed of though.
Never.
It is a very normal bodily function. Most women can do it if their partner or they know where to stimulate themselves. For example, the first time I squirted, it was with a partner, but then I thought that I couldn't do it myself.
Oh, you can.
And then I remember one day I just tried.
Yeah.
And it took me like 2 minutes. And I was like, damn.
Yeah. You just got to figure out where.
You got to figure out.
For you. Okay. So I have to ask personally for you, like,
Yeah.
do you know where your G-spot and A-spot are?
Yeah.
Like, okay, is yours like further forward? Like, what would you say?
My G-spot is like very close to the front, like the entrance of my vagina, which is why it's so easy for me to squirt.
That's so lovely for you. Mine is all the way the fuck back there.
It's great.
Go.
My A-spot is very, very far back, but I mean, I'm a very small person, so
That's true.
Can't be that far.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But yeah, I would encourage y'all, if you want to try like coming in a different way, to like explore your own body first if you're too nervous or embarrassed to like try it with somebody else, or if you just don't want to do that with somebody else yet, like explore it yourself. do some research
Yeah.
and figure out where your spots are. Because then you can also coach your partners on like what you like and what you don't like and where things are. And they're not going to have to like fumble around in the dark.
And then if you're
literally.
also like trying to please somebody who also
Yep.
has a vulva,
Yes. You should know how to look for things. Yeah.
you're going to be a pro and they're going to be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is great.
Yeah.
We love good sex. We love that. So those are like the basics. And then we've talked about like G-spot, A-spot, and what those are. Let's get into like some of the ones that are not
Non-traditional.
Non-traditional.
Non-traditional
If you will.
orgasms.
Yeah.
We love that.
Yeah.
Anal.
I love
You
how
wanna
that's
go there?
immediate. You're like, let's go around the back.
Well, because this is one that I'm interested in because I have
Is that one you want to try?
Yeah, I want to try to
Okay.
have one, but I haven't yet.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah.
But that's because I've never really been that into anal.
Yeah.
Like maybe with the right person, whatever. But like it's not really something that like does something for me. It's
Yeah.
more for like them. So I don't think.
Okay.
I don't
Have you done anal before or no?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, bitch, what?
I would do it again. It just
So you're
depends.
saying when you do it, you're not like looking for like your own pleasure out of doing it. It's usually because somebody's asking you to and you're doing it for them.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
It doesn't bug me.
I kind of want to do it just to see if I can.
Okay.
It's one of those things.
Go for it.
Which I do like anal play. So I think that it would be fun, but we're not there yet. So basically for anybody that has not done this, there is a spot in your anus that, I mean, gay men know.
Oh,
They fucking figured it out.
Men in general
Yeah.
should know that their G-spot is in their prostate.
Their G-spot is in their prostate.
So have fun with that.
But women can also come from their
Yeah.
G-spot being stimulated in their prostate. Well, theirs isn't in their prostate, but you know what I mean. Their anus. I hate
Are
that
you
word.
okay? Anus?
I just hate that word.
Do you
Yeah.
hate the planet?
What do you mean?
Uranus?
No.
So that's fine.
What? What does he feel so strongly about Uranus?
Why are you upset about Uranus?
We're gonna have to cut all of that. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anal. That's fun.
So let's talk about the ways that you can work up to it though, because these are things that I'm kind of trying right now.
Let's go.
Okay, so fingers first, recommended. Like, do not just shove something in your ass, please. It's very painful and it's not going to feel good. if you
Including
just-
fingers, because you already had that spicy trauma story.
Exactly. Don't, especially if it's on a first date.
But
just
like, start
don't.
out with fingers. Give
Yeah.
consent to even do that. Do not just
Yeah.
like be like, oh, we're having a fun time, and like, whoop. Like,
No.
ask questions.
So, practical tips, you can try it in the shower if you're worried about like being clean and all of that. Like,
Mhm.
just try one small finger in the shower, see how it feels, get used to it. It doesn't feel great if you have long nails, speaking from experience. Be very careful. Try those, and then you can try that like every time you take a shower. Like just kind of work your way up to it. Because it literally is like, it just needs to get used to it.
Yeah.
And then you can try a butt plug next as your next step.
And they do have different sizes of butt plugs.
They
So
do.
like, do not go online and get the biggest fucking butt plug that exists.
Don't do that.
They actually have like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna equate this to like stretching your ears when you have
Gauges?
gauges.
Yeah.
Because you have to go up different sizes
Yeah.
and actually like get your body used to it and like stretch it. That's the purpose of the
Yeah.
different sizes of the butt plugs and the different sizes of anal beads and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Do not traumatize your butthole or somebody else's butthole.
You're so passionate about this.
I
I
am.
love it.
And it's
I
not
love
my
it.
own personal
No, I
trauma,
know,
but like
I was gonna
I
say.
should make that clear. But like, don't do that to people.
Yeah.
Like that can be very, very traumatizing if you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just be careful. Be very careful when you're entering any holes on somebody else's body. That's all I'll say.
yeah.
But yeah, so you can obviously like graduate sizes. Sometimes it takes weeks. Like I've heard people say it takes months. Like it really just depends on your body and how frequently like you're training. But you can get up to a small dildo, or if you're sleeping with somebody with a penis, you can use that.
Yeah.
You so desire. And yeah. I mean, I have not had an orgasm from doing it yet, but I've been experimenting and it's fun. It's good.
No.
Yeah.
To get away from the holes for a minute, nipple
Yes.
orgasms.
That's another one I really want to try.
Have you not?
No.
With how sensitive yours are?
I just like haven't ever like put a focus on it, I don't think.
I think it's time.
It's time. Maybe tonight.
Because you have like a gift.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Well, okay,
Yeah.
because like my nipples are very, very desensitized.
Yeah.
Predominantly from volleyball and hitting the ground so many times. They like
That's
just,
why you don't feel
I
shit?
just don't feel shit. Like, because I was a setter, but like you hit the ground on your chest, and when you're as busty as I am,
Yeah.
like you just desensitize to it.
Okay.
So I don't really have feeling. I used to when I was younger. I had
Mhm.
feeling in my nipples. I do not anymore. Like
Yeah.
I just completely desensitized. So that's why I had my nipples pierced originally.
Yeah.
And it was the best thing that I could have done because it helps with the nerve endings and it got the feeling back in them.
Okay.
So I was actually starting to enjoy that again. At the time, I just happened to be with a partner who like wasn't really into nipple play.
Mhm.
And then I had to have surgery and I had to take them out and I never really got to enjoy them. But I'm like, I loved them. I want them back. And I think there's a possibility. It's one of the few that we talked about, like of the 14 female orgasms that like I haven't gotten to experience because I can't feel shit in them.
Right.
And you, on the other hand, like you want to get your nipples
Sensitive
pierced with me. We're
babies.
gonna do that this fall, everybody.
If my girlfriend allows it.
She's in the corner. I'm giving her a death glare. Autonomy, bodily autonomy. Anyways, but yeah, we're gonna do that this fall, and I think, well, one, you're so sensitive in general.
Yeah. Everything is very sensitive.
It may like heighten them to the nth degree.
Yeah.
You may just
I
be
may-
deceased.
It may not be good for me. But the topic of like nipple stimulation, I feel like everybody knows that if your nipples are sensitive, that like it feels good when they're stimulated.
Yeah.
I think a lot of women don't know that you can actually orgasm from that though. And when I was researching like the best ways for like your partner to help you do that, the sex therapists that I was reading were saying that like the best way to do it is for you or your partner to massage like your breast tissue like around your nipple for like a couple of minutes with lube.
Mm-hmm.
So this was actually something I never thought about, like putting lube on your boobs.
Oh yeah.
But it would heighten sensitivity. So doing that for a couple minutes and then moving to like the nipple area so that everything is like really, really sensitive and kind of like warmed up. And then like circular motion around the nipple for like a couple of minutes or however long it takes is supposed to be like the way to get there.
That's so fun. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great advice.
I really want to try it. I have not tried it. Obviously, like usually when you're having sex, if you have boobs, you get like they're getting touched at some point.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of times there's not like a focus put on them. So yeah, it's something to try. I mean, it's something that like if you try it and it doesn't work the first time, like keep trying it. Maybe do the trick I told you earlier about stimulating your clit while you're doing it, getting those neural pathways connected and like trying to get your body used to orgasming when that's happening. And
yeah, I think a
It'll
really great way
happen.
to do it, like when you're with your partner, like when you're trying to like self-gratify at the same time, like actually having your partner flipped around so their back is like against your chest,
yeah,
so that you can reach around and be doing the massaging and playing, and they can be taking care
Yeah.
of themselves. It's like a really good, like,
I love that idea.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try that tonight.
I've done that. It's great. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Okay.
I love it.
So yeah, so nipple stimulation. And then another one that is like less common is, which this is one that you told me that you can do. Fantasy.
It's also known as like mental
Yeah.
stimulation, mental orgasm.
Yeah.
This one's fun. So a lot of people equate that. I think you equated this to like dream
Right.
one as well. It's completely different.
Yeah.
So like dreams, you can have like wet dreams and get off in your dreams because you're being stimulated in your dream, and you wake up and you're like, oopsies, oopsies. Fantasy or mental is like you can actually think yourself to the orgasm.
Yeah.
Like no touching, nothing of the sort. I can do that. Like I could literally just like lay in bed and think about things that are arousing to me. And like how I'm also a very visual, like imaginative person.
Right,
Like
right.
I like having some kind of scene happening in my head.
Okay.
Like when I'm taking care of myself, or like in those mental, especially in those mental scenarios, and it gets me to that point where I can.
So when the first time you tried that,
Yeah.
were you alone?
Yes.
Okay.
First time I tried it, I was alone because I didn't think I could, and I was just like thinking about stuff, and I was like, "Oh, I'm kind of turned on," and I was like, "I'm just gonna say
You're
her
just gonna
'cause
try.
I'm just being lazy. I don't want to like do the fucking work. And then I was like, oh, I can do that without doing the work. Great.
To clarify also, if you can, like, this type of orgasm is like there's no stimulation on your body
None.
at all.
Like you don't
It's
touch
just
anything.
your mind. Yeah.
Anything. Like lay there like stiff as a board and nothing.
Yeah.
It can also be done with a partner, which I have also done.
Okay.
Because I've been in so many non-sub relationships where that was like part of it was mental
Right.
stimulation, where it was almost like a guided meditation. It was like guided orgasm.
Interesting.
Where like they would tell me the things they want to do to me or like give me the imagery. Like a lot of the time I love it when I'm blindfolded because I'm just like straight in my brain and like they would talk about it and like part of it is also the deprivation of not being able to touch.
Right.
But like guiding to a mental orgasm.
So how long did it take you to figure out how to get there, like with a partner? Because I know when you're by yourself, are you going to say like 5 minutes?
Immediately.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
I have no problem with it.
Okay. Well, for some people, it might not be so easy.
I know. I'm lucky. Okay.
So I'm trying to think of like tips we can
very
give.
vivid imagination.
Right.
So
for people that don't, though, like what would you say, like, is advice that you could give them about their environment or things to do to help them like focus?
Environment. I mean, like for me, the darkness, like the blindfold, you can even do self-blindfolding if you want, like, because that's kind of a thing with guided meditations. I don't know if you've ever done a guided meditation.
No.
Well, it's actually one of the classes I took in college was essentially a guided meditation course. We would sit there and they'd guide us through these things and give us imagery to think about when you're going through it. So it's something that you train. It was a class. It was a training class for acting.
Okay.
Right? It was a whole semester of guided meditations. So I think that's probably what helped a lot of it for me. Like I'd already been able to do it, but like it made it better after that course.
Got it. Okay.
Working your brain in that way of being able to like sit and go through pieces of imagery. So in those courses, we didn't go through the full meditation until we got to the end of the semester. It was you're going through these pieces and you start going through the detailed imagery. So it's really taking the time to sit and think about all the details of what's happening. So if you have a scene idea that's going in, it's not just, oh, they're kissing you or, oh, they're licking you here or doing, it's like, what does it smell like? Is there heat? Is there ice? What are the details? Like, what's the texture of the skin of the person that's touching you? Like, what does the breath feel like on your body or anything like that? Like, that's what you want to focus on is the details. And even if you do it in pieces and sections and building that up over time, that allows you to get to that point on your own because you've gone through the imagery and built up and trained your mind to have the imaginative visual that you need to get there.
Okay. Yeah. That's really good advice. And I also think that like just in general, that's like practicing mindfulness.
Yes.
Which is very helpful with achieving any type of orgasm because I know a lot of women that I've spoken to, like it's like orgasms are very, very mental. Like they really are. Like it's almost 100% mental for women, especially.
Almost.
It's like it's one of those things where like if things in your environment aren't right or there's distractions or like there's something else on your mind, like it can really take away from what you're feeling. And so practicing mindfulness in general is going to help you like be in the moment, feel what you're feeling and like focus on like the sensation.
And for partners, I will say when you're with somebody, like keep in mind that it is mental for them. So if they are being verbal and being like, hey, like, oh my God, like if they tell you I'm going to come, do not start going faster or change the pace or anything that you're doing. Keep doing exactly what you were doing. I promise you
this
end result will be chef's kiss.
Continue doing what you're doing does not mean do more or do less.
Do not get excited and be like, wow, like just calm down.
Just fucking
I know it's exciting.
Right
just stay there. It will happen faster. Like, do not ruin it because once it changes, the mental, like, you have to catch up and you have to adapt. Don't make them fucking adapt. Let them come.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just let them fucking come.
Unless it's like what you're trying to not let them come. Unless you're doing it on purpose because it's your
different.
dynamic. It's different.
Different. We love edging. We love deprivation. But like, don't be a dick.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. So mental orgasm, I think, is something that most people probably have not achieved or even tried to achieve. But
I don't think people know it exists.
I don't think
because a lot of people equate sex with touch, right? And that also goes into like breath orgasms, like which that one's something I haven't really experienced. But it's a lot of like sitting in breath work, and being able to like calm down yourself to the point where your breath leads you to the orgasm.
Yes.
And that is something like I can't even speak on because I've never done it and I've never tried it.
Well, I have not tried it before, but I know I've been wanting to go to a tantric sex class because they teach you how to do that. They teach you how to orgasm through breath work, and like they also teach you like how to practice mindfulness. I'm sure men can achieve orgasm through this too. I think there are men that do tantric classes.
I want to go.
We should go.
We could. I wonder if they let us like mic up and.
You want to mic up?
I don't fucking know.
I mean, we might as well. We'll record it for the pod. Another Patreon tier.
Yeah.
Listen to us come. A tantric sex class. I mean, that's not a bad idea. But yeah, anyways, tantric sex classes, we should go together.
That sounds fun.
I think it's really similar to mental orgasms, but it's really about like using your breath to control the sensations in your body. So, I mean, y'all probably notice like if you actually like focus on what you're doing when you're orgasming, however you're coming, your breath is very, very tied to that.
Oh.
Very, very tied to that.
Yeah.
Like for me, at least, if I am about to orgasm, I can't take in too much air. I almost have to hold my breath at certain points.
Stop it.
Do you?
Yes.
Same.
Somebody once told me that like because I was about to or like was mid and I was quiet, which like sometimes yes and sometimes no.
Yeah.
But I was quiet because I was holding my breath.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, you were so quietly loud. It was such a turn on because like your face was screaming, but you weren't.
But you weren't.
Because I was holding my fucking breath.
Yeah.
Maybe that is. Maybe I have done it and I just am not aware of it.
Yeah. I mean, you're using your breath to orgasm every time you orgasm. Yeah, usually it's just when you're being stimulated in some way. Huh. So that's always been a really big thing for me. Like I know that my breath is very like important. Mm-hmm. So like I know how to manipulate it to like if I want to come, like I know what I need to do when I breathe. But there's a lot of practice that goes into that. Like I know there's like entire workshops around orgasming with breath work. So look into it if you're interested.
Yeah.
Tantric sex
I feel like
classes.
we've covered a majority of them. Oh.
There's one I really want to talk about.
Which one?
Throatgasm.
Oh, go for it.
Okay.
We'll get into mine.
I mean, I don't know why I want to talk about it. I'm just interested in it because so I learned today as I was doing research for this that there is a neuroconnectivity between a spot at the top of your mouth, like the roof of your mouth, and your clitoris. Mm-hmm. And that is why you can literally orgasm from the roof of your mouth, like the back of your throat being stimulated. Isn't that fucking crazy?
I mean, I'm not surprised by it. I love that. And that's why like a lot of women love giving head.
I guess so.
Do you suck the strap?
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah,
in some of my dynamics, it's been like my punishment because like I don't like the gagging aspect,
right.
But like it's hot.
Yeah, no, I love it.
It's really hot.
I love it too. I just honestly did not know that it was a possibility to orgasm from that, but apparently a lot of times too, women squirt when they have a mouth orgasm. There's something about it that's tied to you actually being able to squirt.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
You should definitely try that. You're very successful in the other, so I feel like.
I mean, yeah, I've got a fucking list at this point, so we'll try them all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically exactly how it sounds. I mean, and it doesn't have to be a dick that you're putting in your mouth. It can be a strap. It can be
any kind of phallic, anything.
I feel like fingers could probably also do it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's literally just a spot that you have to stimulate, and you can do that with fingers.
Wow.
So, yeah. So a mouthgasm.
We've got a girlfriend and a producer in the corners of this room going...
jerking themselves off. Choking is not involved. So the next one that we have is the coregasm.
That's one of my personal favorites.
I'm going to let you talk about this because this is something that you've mentioned to me so many times.
Well, yeah, because have you had one?
I think that I have. Yeah, but
okay.
I don't think I was actually working out. I think that I was having sex and my muscles tightened up so much that but it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, but yeah, we both go to the gym, but you're more of a runner.
Yeah.
And I hate running cuz like
Because titties,
It
you know,
hurts, man.
they get in the way.
They bounce and they hurt. I don't like to run if I can help it. Like,
Not
unless
a runner.
zombie is chasing me, you're not making me run. Like, sorry. Bye. I will power walk. Orgasm. So I think there was like a phenomenon about it on TikTok, which I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad that other people are doing this, because I thought it was just like me. But like any kind of core workout, ab workout, I'm surprised that you haven't, like with pole, because it's such like a core centric workout.
I'm usually in so much pain when I'm doing pole that I can't feel anything pleasurable.
I'm sorry, you're a masochist.
No.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, it's pleasurable in a painful way, but I'm not coming.
Because you're not thinking about that. You're thinking about like the actual like sport of it.
I'm thinking about not fucking breaking my neck.
Oh, good for you. See, when I do it, like I actually get orgasms from like pole classes in the past in college. And then like when I'm working out, it can also like, if you're saying any time that you are engaging your core in any kind of like physical activity in the gym or otherwise, you have the potential to get a orgasm. It just depends on your body and how that works for you.
Okay.
For me, like, yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, when you're in public and you have a orgasm, it's like, oops. If you've got somebody around who knows what the fuck is happening, they're like, bombastic side eye. Okay. But like other people will not catch it because they'll think like, oh, your legs are shaking because you just lifted 225 pounds.
Right.
But like it will give you a visceral reaction because you're not aware it's happening until it is happening. Like it hits so hard. It's not a buildup because you're not aware of it because you're engaging the core so tightly. It's so clenched that it's just like boom. It's kind of like when you go to the OB and they induce the orgasm by pressing on your abdomen.
Have I told you that I get insanely turned on at the OB?
Your poor doctor. Is your OB a man or a woman?
It's been multiple. I mean, it's been either or. It's not about the OB. It's just about the setting. It's about like I want to like role
Very
play.
Sterile.
It's about doing something like that in such a sterile environment. Like you're not supposed to. Oh. It's the taboo. Anyways, continue.
I don't like it. I mean,
it's not
fine.
for everybody.
It's fine. I don't like the speculum and all that shit. We can have a whole episode on fucking OP appointments because I have had quite the experience. So that's what it is. Like, and I love it, but at the same time, it also, I'm one of those people where I'm like, I take my pre-work. I'm like, spit pre-workout in my mouth for the love of God, please. But like, I am very I have a playlist. It's very angry music because that's what gets me pumped up. And I am there to like do work. So that happens and it'll actually piss me off.
You're like, how dare you distract my workout?
Because fitness turns me on. So like leg day, I'm like, oh my God, I fucking crushed that and I want to go crush somebody's head with these thighs. Right. But like, if that happens, I'm like, you completely took me out of my headspace of me getting turned on. How dare you?
So you don't even like orgasms. They just happen to you.
It depends on the day. Like, do I want that or not? Like, do I need the release or not? I usually am just like, oh, my body probably just needed it because it doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had one at the gym. Ever. Unless I'm just completely forgetting it. But it feels like something you wouldn't forget. Yeah. If you're at the gym.
Yeah, no, you would know.
But I do think that I've had one in like during sex.
Yeah.
For me, it's really interesting. Like, I don't think that I've ever come accidentally. I feel like that's
I'm very intentional.
I'm very intentional about coming.
Thank you.
Well, I can control them. So like if I'm in a gym, I'm not gonna come unless it's like a kinky thing that like.
That's right. You said you can orgasm on command, right?
Pretty much, yeah. With stimulation, yes. But I have not tried just from like someone saying come and then me coming. I can't do that yet.
But you haven't had any like unstimulated orgasms then?
No.
What about dreams?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, well, I guess yeah, that's unstimulated. Yeah. Physically. Yeah, I've had like wet dreams before. So dream orgasms are literally just wet dreams. I mean, they're pretty common. I feel like most people have them. I feel like it's a pretty common experience. Have you had one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You were looking at me like you hadn't. I was like, what?
I don't know if most people do. That's the thing. Is that it's one of those things where it's like, I think it may be a hypersexual thing. But like, of course, you've got like teenage boys that like have wet dreams during puberty because they're getting excited and stuff like that.
Are you saying that we're hypersexual and that's why we've had wet dreams, but other people aren't?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, well,
I don't know this shit.
We'll look at the stats.
Like, this is what you want. But like, maybe I don't know if it's like a most people thing or not. I also, for me, like, a lot of, I never had them like when I was younger. Like I
Mhm.
never had wet dreams during puberty and like the excitement and all of that. Like
Okay.
it was much later in life when I was far more deeply ingrained in like, oh, my sexuality and what I'm interested in, the kink and everything
You
like
know
that.
what? Same. Because I wouldn't have been dreaming about women when I was younger because I was so repressed. And dreaming about men was really not getting me there. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if most people do. Hell, we know some people that don't even know how to have an orgasm. So I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know what
know.
that is. But for me, dream ones, like we say, oh, like they're non-stimulated, but for me, like when it comes to CNC, one of my things is
Mhm.
while I'm sleeping.
Mhm. We've talked about this.
That's when I have really great dreams.
Yeah. Okay.
And I am being stimulated.
So
I'm just not aware of it in my brain.
so you stay asleep,
Yes.
but basically it's translating into your brain in your dream world.
In my dream world.
And you're able to orgasm that
Yep.
way. Have you ever orgasmed from just a dream with nobody else there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, both.
Okay. Yeah. I've only ever done that. Like I've only ever had a dream unprompted and then orgasmed in my dream. Or like woken up.
Was it a
coming.
good dream? Because last time we've talked about this and you said you have dreams with people that you don't want to sleep with.
No. No.
You're like, I feel violated.
No, it's like, well, I take back what I said earlier about like never coming when I don't want to come because that is the exception to the rule.
That's the exception.
That is the exception to the rule.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know what it is. Like my dreams, like if they're spicy, it's never with people I want them to be spicy with.
But you still
Like,
come.
I have like 3 or 4 times. It's not every time.
So I have a question with your dreams. Do you get to the point where you actually are coming in the dream, or
Yes.
you just wake up and you have because of like whatever the scenario was?
No, like I actually have woken up orgasming.
Like mid-orgasm.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I think the one time that I remember it being really good was like one of the few times I've had a sex dream about somebody that like I actually wanted to have sex with. So,
Huh.
but that's been very few and far between.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah. I think the last one is like skin orgasm then.
Skin. Yeah. Which, I mean, that one's really interesting.
I love it.
I feel like that one combined with like a breathwork orgasm could be insane.
Absolutely insane. I bet.
Yeah.
I love skin ones, but that's because I'm very sensory.
Yeah.
Like my spine in general is so sensitive. I think I told you this when I was getting my tattoo on my spine.
Yeah.
I was like shaking uncontrollably. One, because I enjoy pain, and it was right on my spine, which is so sensitive. And I was like, I'm not having this like sexual weird thing with this tattoo artist. It's the fact that like I literally cannot control my body and the way that it's reacting to this because of how sensitive it is. So it's the sensory part of it for me.
So do you get turned on by getting a massage?
Yes.
Same.
Like deeply.
Same.
Deeply. Also, I really like this stuff. It's like a powder that actually has like a taste to it. Like you can get different flavors of it.
Okay.
And it comes with this feather duster, and you like dust the powder
Ooh.
all over your body.
I love that.
And then like they can lick it off of you, which is another like sensory thing,
Another
and it
thing.
tastes good and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But like the feather duster, I like a lot of stuff with like sight deprivation. That's
Okay.
something for me that I
because it heightens your other senses.
it heightens every other
Yeah.
sense, and I really, really enjoy that. I like to keep the sound because I like to hear like the breathing and stuff like that. That really gets me going. But yeah, just sensory in general. So the skin, so like it can be skin on skin, like tracing, back scratching, like drawing pictures on my back or like on different parts of my body. Obviously nipples not so much because I don't have that much feeling in it. When they're re-pierced, we'll revisit that one. But that massages, major big deal.
Yeah.
There's also, so I really like, not in a sexual way, ASMR.
Really?
Yes, not in a sexual way.
Interesting.
Like it actually like calms me down, like it soothes me. I really, really like ASMR. It puts me to sleep. But they actually have ASMR locations that do it like in person. So like when they're doing like I love the personal care ASMR ones, and they have this where they like will brush you with the different like makeup brushes on your face. They have scalp places that do like the scalp cleaning and the scalp massages.
Yeah.
Me having my hair played with, end game.
Yeah.
End fucking game. If you are like massaging my head, like that's really that gets me.
And you've orgasmed from this being done before.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I haven't, but I definitely could because I love like skin tracing. I love massages. I love my hair being played with.
Yeah.
Like nobody's ever done it to me for long enough, I don't think. And I haven't ever like set out with the intention of like, okay, I want to try to like orgasm from this. But it's like major foreplay.
Yeah.
Like if you like do like skin tracing on like my arm, I'm like,
Let's go.
let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Game time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like that one is
It's kind of more of a foreplay or an
Yeah.
aftercare kind
Yeah.
of thing for me. Is like I can still do that, but like it's a more gentle. That is a lot of my aftercare is sensory.
You want to know something? I kind of just realized one of the best orgasms I've ever had in my life that I remember was after somebody had like done skin tracing on me for like 10 minutes. And I think it's because it heightens all of your senses, and then it also like relaxes you completely. Like I remember I was like, I have never been so relaxed in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Your body feels like dead weight, and then like you can just like feel whatever you're feeling. There's no like tenseness.
It
anymore.
also is like a headspace thing for me because physical touch is one of my love languages.
Yes.
That and like acts of service. So like together, like massage and stuff like that is an act of service to me.
You're so right.
Yeah. So it
Those are
kind
my
of
love
ties
languages
into my
too.
Shut the fuck up.
Stop it.
Surprise, surprise. But yeah, so that's why for me, like it's
okay.
primo.
Yeah. These are all very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all really good.
DM us and tell us what kind of orgasms you've had.
We just spent an hour talking about ours.
Because, yeah, you've heard about ours and the things we want to try and the things we have tried and what works and what doesn't. Obviously, we just enjoy having every kind of orgasm and don't really give a fuck.
I don't care what kind it is. I mean, they're all great. And another thing I wanted to mention, too, was, like, regardless of, like, the types of orgasms or the way that you're getting there, like, orgasms also can feel different.
Yes.
Like, we didn't talk about that at all, but, like, you can have one that's concentrated to one area of your body. You can have a full body orgasm. You can have multiple at the same time. Like, for me, like, having a vaginal and clitoral orgasm at the same time is, like, top tier. Are you going to cry?
I should call her. No.
Top tier.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah.
Also,
and
like,
that
that's why I
feels
said,
different.
like, orally, like, that's why I really like oral, like, stimulation, just in general, like that gets me, is because for me it's like that's a full body orgasm for me.
Same.
And I cannot control the shaking.
Same.
For like a while after.
Yeah.
And they like my partners, when that happens, they always love the fuck out of it too, because they're like, look at me. I did that shit. I'm just like, yeah, good for you. Leave me alone. Just let me enjoy it.
You're like, let me fucking lay here. I need a second.
I do it. It boosts the fuck out of their ego. But it's one of those things. So
yeah. Interesting. One last thing. Orgasms can also like last different lengths of time. We didn't really talk about that, but like,
oh yeah.
I know that there are orgasms that can last for like minutes. Like I've heard about this. I've never experienced one before that lasted that long, but like I've had them last like a good like 30 seconds, 45. What? Do you have a story?
No, I want to know how you orgasm.
How I orgasm? Like what? What do you mean?
Like, okay, so I'll talk about mine.
Okay.
So like I have different versions of them.
Okay.
Which is why like I equated a 2-hour sex session to a quickie the other day.
Right.
Right. Because like
that is a quickie.
Because I can come quickly, but I can also go like elongated ones where I'm enjoying the sensation of it, and then I get to that. So like there's a timeline in between, and then the orgasms can either last for very long periods of time, which is usually the full body orgasms, last for like minutes for me.
Okay.
Like, they're long. That's why I have a hard time controlling the shaking after, because it's like literally reverberating through my body for a while. And then I call them rapid fire.
Yeah.
Do you rapid fire?
Definitely. So like vaginal orgasms for me are rapid fire.
Yeah.
And then clitoral orgasms for me last a long time, and it's full body.
Yeah.
And I shake a lot. Like it sounds like exactly what you experience too.
Yeah.
And clitoral orgasms for me, like I can usually only have like 2 or 3 in a row, and then I'm like vaginal, I feel like I can have them over and over and over and over. Like as many times as like I want to.
That's why like in one session my number is so high of orgasms.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Have we talked about that on here? Or did we talk about that together?
We talked about that together. Let the people know how many you've had in one session.
Do you want to let them know for me?
It was something crazy, y'all. It was like fucking like 34 or something. 32 was your record.
In one go.
So this is the thing. You know your record. I don't even know mine. I have no idea, because there are points when I lose count and I'm like, I'm not even counting anymore.
There are times where I've actually counted on purpose. And then I may have surpassed that and I just wasn't
you just
counting.
don't know. Yeah.
But like, Pretty impressive
Once
to me.
we're past like 4 or 5, don't fucking ask me. Like,
She's busy.
I'm busy. I don't know.
Dial tone.
You're getting sent straight to voicemail. Hi, this is Bethany. I'll be right back when I'm done coming. Thank you. Beep. I'm actually getting hot right now.
Do we need to move on to spicy trauma?
Yeah.
So we can...
I'm getting really hot. Oh,
We're
my
fanning
God.
her. We're fanning her.
Whew. Anyways, spicy trauma.
Spicy trauma. Do you want to go first this time?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
go first.
Give it to me.
Okay. So this is a part 2 of my New Orleans story that I told.
Yay! Sorry, I'm excited, guys.
So as just a quick reminder, I told a story on a previous episode about when I went to New Orleans with a friend of mine, and we were there for a bachelorette party. And we had a very interesting experience with a stripper, and we escaped narrowly with our lives. So we leave the strip club, and I'm like on like dating apps at this point, and like I'm swiping on men and women, but I was still closeted. I think I was like 23 maybe at this point. And before I like had gone out that night, I had like swiped on this couple because this was me in my threesome era. That's what I was doing. And that's what we were doing. And they were like beautiful. This girl's like an NFL cheerleader, and her boyfriend is like this very tall Nordic man who I'm like, okay, you know, I can acknowledge that he's attractive.
Nordic people are...
He literally was
Nice.
like the quintessential like Nordic man. He looked exactly like you would expect. So I was like, okay, I can fuck with it. And I was messaging them, and they were like, hey, if you want to meet up with us tonight. I didn't tell them why I was in town. I didn't tell them I'm literally at my friend's bachelorette party. They were like, hey, if you want to meet up with us tonight, we'll literally get a hotel room next to your hotel. So you can just
Oh.
come over and then
You can come over.
and then leave. And so I'm like messaging them, and I told the girl, I was like, listen, I was like, I like want to meet up with y'all, blah, blah, blah. But here's the deal. I'm not having sex with your boyfriend.
He can watch.
He can watch. Like, I'll kiss him. He can go down on me if he wants to, but his dick is not getting anywhere near this. And she was like, okay, like, I'll let him know. Like, that's fine. Like, we're cool with it. And I was like, just confirm that, like, he's good with that. And then, like, I'll meet up with y'all. So we leave the strip club. They message me, and they're like, we got the hotel room. Like, come meet up with us now. So we're in this other club, and I, like, just look at my friends, and they're, like, 5 shots deep. I'm like, they're not going to miss me. They're not going to know where I am for a couple hours. And I'm like, hey, guys, I have to go to the bathroom. And they're like, okay, blah, 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 bye. They're dancing, whatever. I just bounce. I leave the club. And I walk down the street of New Orleans. I walked like 3 blocks by myself. This was really stupid. Yeah, I know.
Bethany.
No, in like the middle of like everything. It was not smart. But they were like, we're going to get an Uber and we'll come pick you up. And so they were like, meet on the street. I had them meet me on a street that was like down because I was like, I don't want my friends to see me getting into this like random Uber. So I like walked down the back alleys of fucking New Orleans. Like
You give
a
me shit
psychopath.
for all the shit I did.
No,
you're
I know,
like,
but-
you're like in serial killer central, just walking around with a tiny ass
I'm
self.
still here, baby.
Oh my God.
So I hopped in their car, and they were like, oh my God, you're so hot. And I was like, oh my God, y'all are so hot. And then we, that's literally how it played out.
Oh my God.
The girl was very like, I forgot this part of the story until just now. She was like, I told my boyfriend I would do this for him for his birthday, and we're finally doing it. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, what did I get myself into? She was like, I've never done this before, but I've always wanted to. So this was like their first time doing anything like this. And I was like, well, y'all called a veteran, so like just leave it to me. Leave it to me.
I'm top of the pyramid, baby.
So we went to the hotel room. I felt super awkward checking into the hotel because like it was just this old woman like sitting there at the front, and she was just like looking at us, and we're just like,
You don't know that woman's life. She probably knew what was going on because she was doing that shit all the time.
no, she absolutely knew what was going on. That's why I felt awkward. I was like,
She was like, hey.
and so we walk
Reminds
back.
me of myself when I was a girl.
Is this a theater thing? Because I don't know it. I thought you were singing something from a musical.
No!
I was like, I don't know the reference because I don't know anything musical theater.
I know.
Okay. Anyway, so we're walking down this like hotel fucking lobby, and like we get in there, and like we're kind of just talking for a second, and like they're just talking to me, and I just look at them and I'm like, are we gonna do this or not? Like, I'm not here. I'm literally not here to chat. I was like, I have like 2 hours and like I gotta go because my friends are waiting for me. And so like we start having the threesome, everything's fine. And like mid threesome, this man like gets on top of me and like tries, like actually tries.
Immediately chop it off.
No, I just pushed him off of me, and I looked at him and I was like, did your girlfriend tell you the rules? And he was like, I don't know. I don't remember. And I was like,
Bitch.
Your dick is not going inside of me, just so you know. I was like, it's not going inside of me. So I literally just laid him down and I grabbed her and I was like, you sit on top of him. Like, I'm not doing it.
Get on your pogo stick, sweetheart.
Yeah. So I like directed the threesome like I was a fucking conductor for an orchestra. And then I bounced and I left. And then I walked back. I did the same thing. Walked back. My friends were at the hotel room at this point. And as I walked down the hall, they're all just like frantically like looking around. And I can tell that they're looking for me. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like,
yeah, you done fucked up.
I've been caught. And they like my friend that like was my best friend who was getting married. She like looks at me and she's like, Bethany, where have you been? And I was like, I just lost you guys. Like I like went to a different bar or whatever. She's like, why would you do that? And I was like, I don't know. I just like, I like
dumbass.
I just really didn't give her a good reason. And then she just like accepted it and moved on. And then the next day she tried to grill me about it. And I like didn't tell her. And I told her like recently, I told her like 2 years ago, I was like, hey, remember that time I disappeared in New Orleans? I was having a threesome with strangers. She was like, why the fuck did you not tell me? And I was like, I don't know.
Next time you do that, tell someone where you're going.
It was so dangerous and so stupid.
Yeah.
And I don't regret it. It was fun.
I know. I don't regret my shit either. So
Yeah. So that's
fun.
my spicy trauma.
I love that.
It could have been a lot more traumatic, but it ended up fine.
It ended up fine.
Yeah. I'm still alive.
Mine was from college. And I don't know if I've told you this. I studied abroad.
Yeah, you've told me.
In London.
Okay.
And my girlfriend and I had like broken up, like taken a break for the summer because I was like, I'm going to another country for the summer. I would like to
do things.
You know,
dive into
sample the delicacies of the country. and it just so happened because I was over there to study advanced Shakespeare with my school.
Okay.
And it just so happened to be the World Shakespeare Festival.
Okay.
So it was like this global Shakespeare festival where like people were coming from all over to see that. It also happened to be the Summer Olympics that year. So you got people coming from all the fuck over to come see that. And it also happened to be World Pride.
Oh my God.
So you have all the fucking gays from all over the world, which mind you, World Pride that year was not funded as much because all of their money was being filtered into Olympics. Right. Of course it was.
Yeah.
Which it was so cool. Like it was so cool. It was packed. There were tons of people. You were meeting people from all cultures, like all kinds of stuff. This is also the summer that I was like shortly thereafter in like my sexuality. So the girlfriend that I said we took a break, it was my first girlfriend.
Okay.
So we took a break for the summer. I was just doing whatever. And I was very like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you were a baby gay.
And what was nice is that we had our own dorms too while we were in there. So we were actually in Kingston at the time, which love Kingston. It's great. And I would take the train, whatever, went to World Pride. I was going out to bars. I had my birthday there because my birthday is in the summer. And like went out to all of these gay bars in England and London all the time. And I was meeting women from like every country while I was there. So essentially I would go out to these bars almost every single night and bring home a girl from a different country.
I love that.
It's like you drink around the world at Epcot.
I was going to say you were taking a tour of the world.
I was. They don't have centralized AC or anything like that.
Right.
And you keep your windows open because it's so muggy and cold and stuff like that.
Okay.
Forgot my window was open.
No, don't do that.
Which like...
I mean, you're an exhibitionist. Who cares?
Oh, well, that's fine. Like, I don't care. Lo and behold, one of my favorite professors, who was also on the trip, was directly across from my room.
Bridget.
And not only saw every single girl come and go, but heard every single girl come and go.
No. I love the play on words.
Thank you. And at the end of it, we were like on the bus home because we had to get up really fucking early because they were like, they're going to be blocking all of the streets because they've got this bicycle. What is it? It's
a trolley?
Trolley, no, like the race.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't know. I'm thinking England, a trolley, London, a trolley.
God. Okay, no. But they were having one of the races, one of the Olympic races, and they were blocking up all of the streets. So we were like, we have to get up the ass crack on, get on this charter bus to get to the airport early, and then like we have to sit around for like 10 hours and wait for our flight. Because we're not gonna get out until like 3 days from now at that point. Unless we go now. So we get on the charter bus and I'm like sitting on the bus and I am not a morning person. I'm not an early morning person. I am groggy as shit. I'm just on the bus like, And my professor, the reason I found out that happened is because they sit down in front of me and they turn around and they go, really seems like you had a really great time while you were here. And just like, stared into my soul. And I was like, so you heard all that, huh? And they're like, learned a lot about you while we were here.
Oh, no.
And that was it. They were great. They were wonderful. So it's not like a creepy thing because like at my school, in an art school, you may have called somebody like Professor Davis or something like that. They were on first name basis because they were coworkers. We were working with them because in theater world, like they're just your coworkers. It's like mentorship. Right. So it's not like a weird professor dynamic, but it was so fucking funny. And I don't think I've ever seen color drain from my face until that moment. But I will say,
was it worth it?
I love Italian women.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, which one was the best flavor?
I love Italian. At least that one. Okay. It was great. Italian women.
Italian women. # Italian women.
Freaky.
Oh yeah, freaky. I could see that.
Freaky as fuck.
I could see that. Do you still talk to this professor?
Yeah.
Okay. I figured because you keep your professors close. I've noticed.
That's a spicy trauma for another day.
Not that close. Or maybe.
Yes. So yeah, we'll talk about that another day. But yeah, it was fun. Good times.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us.
Yes.
We had so much fun today.
Tell us your spicy trauma. DM us.
Please.
Send us your stuff. We'll keep it anonymous, but we want to laugh and have a good time with it. Yeah. But otherwise, have a wonderful day.
Have a spicy, trauma-filled day.
Yes. Be good.
Or don't.
We won't.
We never are. Goodbye.
Clink.
Don't break the mic.
If you liked today's episode, follow us on social media at Trauma Bondage Pod. Follow Beth at Dancing Gemini and at Bethany Nicole, and Brigitte at Your Fave Femme. If voyeurism is your kink, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Trauma Bondage Podcast, and subscribe to us on Patreon at patreon.com/traumabondagepod.
We have several tiers with bonus content, access to our private Discord server, merch, and other titillating perks. If you know, you know. Production by Wolfstar.
Production assistance by Misery Cord.
Special thanks to Details by Annalise for set design, D. Dumpy for music, and Noelle's art for artwork.